Okay. Hi. Hello, Instagram. Hi, Money Medicine Space. Hello, beautiful people, beautiful souls. Welcome to Money Medicine Space. Wednesdays, 5 p.m. I know it's been a while. I think it's been a good 3 or 4 weeks. Yeah. Hi. April has been really hectic. Hi, Mtikazi. Hello. Yeah, April has been so hectic on my side. Honestly, I struggle with energy. I struggle with energy management. I'm still learning how to honor where I am with my energy, because there are times when I either overwhelm myself and then I end up like really drained, or miscalculate, the events of my life. So this April, my soul sister was getting married. A bestie of mine was getting married, and I really needed to be there for her. It was such a beautiful wedding, but I did update in my stories that I'm going to be a maid of honor for my friend who was getting married. And then also it's last week was my birthday week. So honestly, I didn't even intend to take such a long break, but it was much needed. It was unplanned, but I believe that in the end it worked out the way it should. And hopefully hopefully from now on there won't be more interruptions. Last week I was supposed to go live, everything was good, and then we had a power cut, so I couldn't be here. But today I told myself that I'm going to be here no matter what. Thank you so much. I had a beautiful birthday. It was the way I desire to spend my birthday. So intimate. I went for a beautiful massage, then went for dinner. Yeah, I loved it. It was my type of vibe all the time. And I got gifts, so I usually get more surprises on my birthday because I don't plan for my day. I really, if there's one thing I would love to really take from, is how I deeply surrender, to my birthday celebration. I don't obsess over it, and most of the time it just goes beyond. Like, I get surprise gifts. I get really touched by how much warmth I receive, and I think honestly it's because I leave it up to God to see how we get to create it. So I don't fuss about it. It is teaching me that when I don't fuss about things, I actually get the things that I truly want. It's like God knows what I want, and then he's like, yes, I'm just gonna give her the things that she wants for her birthday. So it's usually very, very cool. So today I wanted to answer another question that I've received. I actually love this question. It made so much sense. And so the question is, can you actually heal your money by healing your soul? Right? Is it just a myth, or is this real? Can we actually heal our money by healing our soul? And I'm not gonna give you a straight yes or no, but I'm going to do my best to give you revelations that I have had around the soul, right? So if we are to understand the soul as our the core part of our divinity, the soul as being connected to our life force that we're constantly co-creating with Source God. It's like our source of creation. It's connected to Source God. If we are to understand the soul as this aspect of art that is so powerful, that carries more power, than we can even comprehend. And we get to understand that the soul is eternal, and therefore the soul has existed in many more lifetimes than the physical body, because we may switch the physical body through many lifetimes, but the soul still is. And why is that? Because the soul is constantly creating different experiences for itself and wanting to collect life lessons and to deeply connect to God. And in the process, of course, the soul would its deepest desire is to ascend and to be one with God. That's the aim of life, to be one with God, to create as many experiences that give us the opportunity to heal, and so that we may ascend, be in our truth, and master our lives, so we can be one with Holy Spirit, one with Source God, Holy Mother, Father God, right? But here's the thing. All this being true, we do experience what we call soul trauma. And when we look at soul trauma, we're talking about any experience, whether it's a physical, spiritual, emotional, or mental experience that creates chaos in your energetic field, right? That creates a dysfunction in your energetic field, or an impact that leaves you with a certain dysfunction. Narrowing this to our money, I want you to understand that, yes, we do have the desire to create money. We do have the desire to create wealth, to build wealth. Every single one of us has that desire to live a good life, to create money, to create wealth, have a thriving business, be able to support themselves with the money. But at the core of this, honestly, beyond the money, what we're really looking for is fulfillment, right? So this is what I usually see. It's either one, the soul or you will create money but still not be able to elevate, not be able to experience elevation. This usually would happen in a way where you are able to create money, have money, make money, but then most of the time you are caught up in a financial loop, which is basically financial stagnancy, where you are able to call in money, to create money, through your business, create an income for yourself, but you are not able to match the experiences that you deeply desire with that money, or match what you truly desire with that money. Be able to support yourself in expansive ways with that money. Most of the time we don't have a problem creating money, but we experience what we call a financial loop, in the sense of repetitive cycles of creating money, losing money, creating money, losing money, and never being able to truly elevate and expand with that money, right? Which most of the time leaves us very drained. That's one way of experiencing money. Another way, other souls are able to call in money, right? We're able to call in money and actually make more money, the highest amount of money that we desire. But usually you'll find that there is where, in that case, we may experience lack of fulfillment, right? This is where a lot of people create the belief that more money, more problems. I created more money, I was able to increase my income, but the more I increase my income, the more I feel lonely, the more I feel like I'm losing the people that I love, the relationships that I love, the more I feel misunderstood, the more I struggle with relationships. There are a lot of issues that still come with having been able to create an experience where, like, you have more money, but then the issue becomes lack of fulfillment. All these two ways are somehow connected to your soul trauma, right? In the sense that we are going to have to accept and understand that just because you are making money does not mean that your soul is ascending, or your soul is finding fulfillment, or your soul is creating the experiences that are actually connecting you to higher timelines where you can tap into your wisdom, where you can tap into your divinity, right? So because of that, most of the time, even when we make money, our experiences barely change unless we actually do the work of shifting those experiences. And how we get to shift those experiences, we shift them by healing the soul, right? Because the soul, it is where we are creating. We create from our soul. The soul is connected to our life force, our willingness to live. When we experience soul trauma, what is happening there is that there is an interruption in terms of our will to live, our life force. And yeah, sometimes it can be an impact that leaves us with a dysfunction and an imbalance in our energetic field. That being the case, it means that the money as it comes in does not get to automatically shift our experiences. And I always see that we have the illusion, most of the time when you ask people, why do you want to have money? Most people have the illusion that money is going to give them power, because where they are, they feel powerless, and they believe that when I get money, I'm going to all of a sudden, have so much power. When I get money, I will have the freedom. When I get money, I will then get to have the relationship that I've been longing for. Oh, that's when I can look for someone to settle down with. We create this illusion for ourselves and this is usually the ego doing that. The ego creates the illusion that money will give them access to something beyond. Money will give them permission to do the thing that they wanted to do, right? That they know in their core that they wanted to do, right? So it's usually power. It's usually like, oh, love. Yeah, sometimes we think that money will get me the love that I want. I'll finally get the love that I want once I have money. Usually we will find that with men, they think that if I have money, then I can have any woman that I want. You look at the soul, you will realize that mostly what they are struggling with is, like it could be self-esteem issues. It could be feeling powerless, where they are feeling not worthy, and they believe that, okay, once I make the money, all these things will vanish, right? And this is false. This is not true. Actually, when you believe that money is going to, when you have the illusion that money is going to give you access to things that you yourself at your core do not believe that you have access to, I would say that you are functioning at a lower timeline when it comes to money, because you will be in a repetitive cycle where you keep getting the money, but you're not getting the fulfillment. You keep getting the money, but you don't know what pleasure feels like. You keep getting the money, but you don't know peace, right? How many people still make money, but still have, a lot of financial stress? How many people make money and still feel betrayed by their loved ones? How many people make money and they still get to divorce? There's actually a lot of chaos that takes place while we're still making money, because of the illusion that we think money is going to give us once we make it, right? I do believe, though, that the soul knows better, which is why I believe in healing the soul. I believe that the soul, as a co-creating divine part of you that is constantly creating with God, I do believe that the soul knows that no, actually money is not going to give you the permission. The soul understands that you are bigger than how you perceive yourself. And because of that, the soul tends to create many experiences that create opportunities for you to heal and go to the next level. And the more you have the idea that I'm going to use money to do 1, 2, 3, the more the soul will use money to reflect back to you that I want you to take this opportunity now. Money is not going to be your permission slip. So this will look like, sometimes if you have the idea that once I have money, then I can have more friends, or once I have money, then I can have people be around me and love me. What will usually happen is that you may experience more wounded experiences, or more events where you are wounded within your relationships, right? Whether the money is there or not, because you are being called to heal whatever wound is being triggered within those relationships, right? So if, for example, you have a partner that you're building your life with, and you keep believing that money is the problem, you have built this idea that once we have money, me and my lover are going to finally be able to go on holiday, and then he will finally see me for who I am. He will finally treat me a certain way. You may actually have more experiences where you and this lover are caught up in an event where you are not actually financially succeeding, or you are making money and you keep losing money, or you have more disagreements around money. Why? Because the soul is asking you to see beyond the illusion that is being created by money, to see beyond the facade, right? The soul is asking you to heal. Probably even it could be a wound that is existing. For example, one of the most primal wounds would be between relationship. Usually it's abandonment, betrayal, where two people can be in union and they actually believe that once we have the money, then we can address the issues of our relationships, then we can look inward. This type of union may actually experience the opposite, where they have more fights around money. They are not financially succeeding. They have businesses together, but they don't see the expansion in those businesses. Why? The soul is asking that we drop the illusions first. We heal beyond, right? Sometimes it doesn't even have to be within a relationship. It can just be you as an individual, right? People can experience different forms of soul trauma. Imagine there are people out there who've experienced soul trauma where, for example, you lost a loved one. You could have lost a parent. That's an abandonment issue happening there. At its core, of course, it's not like your parent abandoned me, but the soul may have been impacted and may have created that event to experiences as a form of abandonment. Basically, the chaos that was created there may have felt like abandonment, and usually what then happens is that you then begin to feel like, okay, I tend to lose the things that I love, right? That can be a covenant that you speak out, or a command that you speak out, that I am the type of person who loses the things that are close to me. And then you create a life where you're constantly losing things. It could have started with a parent. Next thing it goes into like losing material wealth whenever you accumulate it, losing friendships whenever you accumulate it. You may not see this, but this can also be these things can be connected to your money, right? You buy a house, tomorrow the bank is calling you and saying we need to retrieve that house. Something happens, you get a job, you lose that job. Because the soul was deeply traumatized by loss, right? It has created more events where you had the opportunity to realize how deeply loss had left an imprint on your soul, on your life force, right? And in having understood that, you get to realize that, okay, so just because I'm making money, it doesn't mean that I got to really process the loss that I've experienced in my life. Just because I'm making money doesn't mean that I got to process maybe the betrayal that I experienced in my life. Just because I'm making money does not mean that I got to process moments where I felt unsafe or I felt very alone, right? So the soul constantly creates that. And when it comes to your money will also reflect what is currently happening within your field, which is your energetic field that carries your soul trauma, right? Your experiences with money is constantly also taking you back to what is currently happening. If you have experienced trauma, soul trauma, which I believe honestly every soul has experienced soul trauma because we have lived many lifetimes, then your money will always reflect that, right? The experiences of your money will reflect what is currently happening in your field. And it's important to always look into the patterns that your money is playing out. If you're one person who constantly loses money, or you feel like you make money but you are really not seeing where this money is going, it feels like a lot of times you lose money to things that you did not even see coming. That could be linked to an abandoned wound that has nothing to do with money, right? It's reflecting the soul trauma that exists, but this is happening through your own money experiences, right? Sometimes you could be the type of person who is very indecisive when it comes to your finances. You miss out on opportunities, or when you have opportunities, you get so anxious about the opportunities that are presented to you, like whether it's an investment opportunity. You get so anxious because you are thinking, oh my God, you do not see this, but at a very deeper level, the anxiety around making that decision is connected to a deeper wound where you were made to feel unsafe, where you were questioned in terms of like where your own reality was questioned, right? This is whereby for example, you can be a child and you experience something, and then when you tell people something, no one believes you. This had happened to a lot of people, where you tell people, oh my God, this happened to me, and no one believes you, or people have a hard time believing you. This can create a soul trauma, right? An impact on your energetic field, where there was a point where you felt like no one believes me, no one sees me for who I am, no one trusts my reality, and then you begin to not trust your own reality. When it comes to your finances, how then would that play out? It could be then you not being the type of person who trusts your own financial decisions, where you can be indecisive, especially when money comes maybe in a lump sum, or when you have an opportunity to actually make more money, and you already feel like maybe it's just me who sees this opportunity, right? Maybe it's just me who thinks this way, and you delay and hold on and are afraid to make a move, because beyond that is the aspect of you that feels like my reality may not match what other people's reality is, right? Connecting to the times where you were questioned, where you were made to feel unsafe in trusting your own decisions, where you were made to feel like your reality is not as real. You may be hallucinating, right? So yes, that's soul trauma and how it shows up within your money. And I want you to understand this. Soul trauma is always being reflected in the illusions that that you may have created within your money, right? It's always being reflected in the patterns that exist within your money. The way you're experiencing your finances, your money, is one way or the other influenced by how your soul has experienced yourself. The more pain, the more trauma the soul has experienced, it will show up within your money. And for most of us, there is where we mostly experience what we call lower timelines of money. Why? Because we have not healed the timelines where our soul was made to believe that we are not worthy, where our soul was made to feel unworthy and unsafe, where our soul was abandoned, where our soul was made to feel like to be oppressed or to feel inferior. So there is so much always going on at the same time when it comes to our money and our soul. I love this question. So how does one start with the journey of healing the soul? How do we truly begin to heal the soul? We heal the soul through time retrieval. One of the ways to heal the soul is through time retrieval. This is where using a process of healing, it could be meditation, where we go back in time to witness, right? To witness the timelines that are reflecting a certain wound that we're experiencing. Timelines that are connected to our money experiences, right? Or any experience that for you has created more pain repeatedly, or a cycle of pain. We heal the soul by accessing timelines that are deeply influencing these current experiences, right? And so this is called soul retrieval. We go to these timelines first to really acknowledge, because what has happened to a lot of us when it comes to our trauma, we tend to believe that because it happened a long time ago, then I can just move on, right? Because it happened a while ago, doesn't matter, I have survived, I'm a survivor. But it doesn't work that way. You need to go back in time to acknowledge what has happened deeply, right? To witness that aspect of yourself that had that experience, because it is that aspect of yourself through this experience that is influencing your current experiences now. So we go to acknowledge, to witness, and really to also begin to heal the storyline, or how that aspect of ourselves perceives the experience, right? To heal our perception of that experience. In moments where you were made to feel powerless, you go in that timeline to reclaim your power. Once witnessing, once acknowledging, you reclaim your power. In moments or timelines where you were made to feel unsafe, you begin to declare your own safety, that it is safe for me to be the way I am. It is safe for me to have money. It's okay. No one is going to bewitch me. That type of vibe. So healing the soul mostly will require that we time retrieval. We heal the soul with time, but by not saying that, oh, it will get better in time. No, we have to go back to the timelines where we're deeply wounded, where we're traumatized, to acknowledge, to witness, and to heal. We heal by changing the perception, right? We heal by changing the story. We heal by reclaiming our power, by reclaiming what we feel we lost in that moment, reclaiming our safety, our worth. That's how we heal soul trauma. And in the process of doing that, this cannot be a once-off thing. Hence why it takes more sessions. Like I do have a program where most of the time I help women heal their soul trauma, right? And I won't lie, most of this, the first 8 weeks of this program, we are just doing healing, because I know that as you heal, you change your experiences at a spiritual level, at an emotional level, at a mental level. To change does not mean that you begin to exist like they didn't happen. Actually, what you're doing there is now no longer allowing those experiences to disempower you when it comes to how you get to build wealth, how you get to experience wealth, right? So truly, the first 8 weeks of my Sacred Abundance Mastermind is like only healing, because I know that once you have healed, that's when you are going to be able to. And this is not to say even that, oh, it takes 8 weeks to heal. I've just designed the program in the way that I know the first 8 weeks, I'm not even talking about your money so much. I'm just helping you see yourself where you are, witness yourself where you are, and truly believing that organically what is going to begin to happen is that through making these shifts, right, through reclaiming your power, reclaiming your worth, reclaiming your safety, and transforming your consciousness, you begin to connect also to your soul desires, right? Connecting to your soul desires is basically going in deep to say that if I do not access myself through my traumas, who am I, right? If I do not perceive myself, my money, and what I deeply desire when it comes to my wealth, if I do not perceive that from the lens of my traumas, who do I perceive it as? Who's this woman? What does she want? How much does she want to be making per week, per month? Truly. And you'll find that if you are not taking your traumas or perceiving your money with the lens of your soul trauma, and you are perceiving money from the true aspect of you, right, that has reclaimed her power, that has reclaimed her safety, you begin to feel safe to want more. Feel safe to trust your own financial decisions. Feel safe to feel safe to desire more, right? Feel worthy of more. Because you have reclaimed yourself. Because you begin to see your own desires at a clearer level than using the lens of like your traumas, right? So that's how healing your soul actually can heal your money. You heal your soul, you heal the aspects of you that feel powerless, that feels unworthy, that feels unsafe around wealth building, around your business operations, around your money. And organically, that gets to heal, that gets to shift your experiences when it comes to money, where you get to allow yourself to say that, honestly, I would love to be a millionaire. You know what I mean? Like you get to say, I would love to be a millionaire. I would love to actually make 100K a month or 10K dollars a month, any amount. That's what I've seen. I've seen people begin to go deeper into that desires and say, I've always known that deep down I really want to drive a certain car, or deep down I really want to have a business that does 1, 2, 3. You get to be very bold about your desires. You get to say, I've always wanted to be a businesswoman. I remember when I started working with a psycho-spiritual coach, I was a corporate girl. I was like, yeah, that's my life. But at my core, I always knew that deep down, I know I want to be an entrepreneur. And I knew nothing about entrepreneurship. I knew nothing about business. I'm still learning, right? And I learn every day. But what I can tell you is, when I started doing healing work, this was in 2019, I was a corporate girl, and in as much as I wanted to have a business, to be an entrepreneur, there's an aspect of me that felt like this is so far-fetched. Like I wanted it, but I felt like it may or may not happen for me, right? Because of my own trauma. I wanted it, but then there was an aspect of me that felt like, but who am I to want this? Right? This is because I genuinely grew up in a home where like we could manage. We were on survival mode. We didn't have a lot of money and abundance. And so growing up in that environment, there's where I began to feel like there are certain things that are for other people, but not me. Who am I to want that? So when I started doing healing work, I got to be very bold about what I truly desire. I got to own that, yes, honestly, I would love to own a business. And the next question was, what is standing between you and that business? What is between you and that business? Why do you feel like this business has to come 2 years later, or 5 years later? What is even this business that you want? And slowly but surely, with a shaky voice, I began to say that I never thought it would be possible now. Okay, what's wrong with now? Well, now I have 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Started saying all the blocks that I felt like were real, only to realize that these were just stories. These were illusions that were mostly supported by my own trauma. They were not as real as I thought they were. And that's the power of healing. Sometimes healing will help you break down the big blocks that you are imagining are standing between you and your desires, that you have held on for so long and believe that this is the logical reason why I am not rich yet, or why I'm not making the money I want yet. It looks logical because the trauma is literally holding it and supporting it. But once you heal and dissolve these blocks, you get to realize that, oh my God, I don't see a reason why I can't have a business today. I don't see a reason why I can't make that money. I don't see a reason why I shouldn't buy that car that I've always wanted, or open up, that business, or take up that deal that I've always wanted. You literally get to give yourself permission to want things because you see yourself for who you are, not for what you have always thought you'd be or you are. So it is not really about the money but the soul. Yeah, it's really not about the money. The honest truth is, it's not about the money. It's everything else except the money. And money, though, plays a powerful role in the sense that money is always reflecting, your money experiences is always reflecting back to you some of your struggles, some of the things that you need to work on, that you need to heal, that are part of your trauma. Yeah. If right now you're the type of person who does not trust themselves, like if you're the type of person who doesn't trust that intuition, for example, let's go with the intuition. If you neglect your intuition and you don't trust it, or sometimes you ignore it, even with your money will show you that, you should trust your intuition more. This will look like some people who say, I was robbed, or I have been a victim of financial scams. I do have family members who've been a victim of financial scams. I can tell you this, that in that story they always say, there was that moment where I knew that this is a bad deal. And the money was so, by the time they lose the money, that's when they realize that, oh my God, I should have trusted my intuition. There was that God voice that came through me to say that this is a bad deal. So money is reflecting back to you that, do you trust yourself? Do you genuinely believe you can get the things that you want? Or you ignore the one true voice that is within you? You don't tap into that inner knowing that exists, your divine intelligence. Money will always reflect that. So yeah. One of the things that, and I'm concluding, one of the things that I know money deeply taught me was that I actually don't trust that I will have more. And it was a very painful lesson. Very painful. I have cried and cried and cried. This usually used to come up with, like, every time I got money, I would be so anxious. Even when I'm in a shop and I'm supposed to just like get the thing I want and then go pay for it, I would think about it a lot. I would get anxious. I would worry about whether it's a good decision. Should I wait? Should I do that? Honestly, my anxiety would just go, it would just go ballistic. I wouldn't trust that the money would be enough. I wouldn't trust that I'd have more money. And then in healing, I got to realize that days where every time I handle money, the reason why I get so anxious is because I don't trust that I'll have more and that I'll make even more, So I got to really acknowledge this and understand that it comes from childhood where we would have money today and then tomorrow we don't have money, or I'd witness my own parents like having the mood swings where today we're really happy, we're buying Nando's, the next day or the next few weeks I don't know what has happened, the mood is low. So I got to feel like, okay, money comes but it doesn't stick around because things may happen, this and that. So the anxiety that would always come whenever I had money, it was so painful, but I got to realize that it's because I don't trust to have more. And so in doing healing and going deeper to go and witness these timelines where I felt like money was not enough and it did vanish. It felt like money vanishes. That's what my soul believed, or that's what the soul trauma was reflecting, that it's like it vanishes from me. And so the anxiety was saying that it was the emotional part of me that feels like, yeah, it's going to vanish again, because I had the trauma that money actually vanishes and it leaves. So I began to really do a lot of work of that. Because of anxiety, I used a lot of breath work, and I got to have my own mantra of saying that more is always coming, more is always coming. So even when I spend, I look at, is it really expensive? Is it me saying it's expensive? Or this could be something that expands me. And I take time to make these decisions and truly believe that money is going to come. It takes a lot. It has taken a lot. It's still something that I keep reminding myself whenever I feel like, oh, I'm making this decision. I always say, yeah, but more money is coming. But I don't just say more money is coming. I also create an opportunity. Like, for example, my business is a portal for more money to come. I trust and believe that more money is coming. I trust and believe that I can make unfamiliar money, and that at any time my calendar is open for someone to book and pay me. So yes, Nunufang, more money is coming. Make that decision. Buy whatever you need to buy. Invest however you need to invest. More money is coming. So yeah, that took a lot, and it's still something I use to expand myself, but I use it with practicality. I don't create magic that more money is coming and then squash all the money. No, it's just something I had to work on, and it's because for me it was medicinal to the trauma that money is going to run out and I won't have money if I spend the one that I carry right at the moment. So yeah, that's one of my biggest soul traumas that was being reflected around money, not trusting I'll have more of anything, And honestly speaking, you'll think that this trauma was only being reflected within the money. This trauma will also be reflected even in relationships. For me, it was mostly masculine relationships. Like, I have girlfriends. Most of my girlfriends are sisters. 15 years, 18 years relationships. I keep women in my life. I love women. I keep them in my life. However, the more I was anxious around money, the more also I was anxious about relationships with men. This would make sense because men are the masculine and money is also a form of masculine energy. So even with men, as soon as a guy takes me out on a date, already I'm feeling anxious. Where's this going? Should I say this? Should I text them? No, don't text them. Should I call him? I'm just trying to show you that this anxiety will not just be about the money. It will not just be reflected around the money. Why? Because it's more connected to your soul trauma and not just the money. It will reflect in relationships. It will reflect in your business. It will reflect in your money. In many ways, for you to get the message that, you know what, pay attention to this. It is keeping you stuck. You need to elevate and empower yourself, So, yes, healing your soul will actually heal your money. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much, Tladi. Thank you, Felicity. Thank you. Yes, let's chat again next week. I can tell it's already late now. Let's chat again next week. We're going to be here. Definitely Wednesday, 5 p.m. Money Medicine Space. Bye.